Okay, what's going on, good people? Happy Saturday, everybody. Watching these Knicks struggle a little bit. Come on, man. We need a run. We need a run. But let me know if the audio's good. Let me know if the visual is good. It's a little bit later of a show. I did it because I pushed the time back because the Knicks were playing. I didn't push it back far enough, but show got to go on. We're gonna watch the rest of this game together, and we're gonna talk some. We're gonna talk some Giants football, man. That's what we're here for, right? But we also gonna enjoy these Knicks for right now. Shout out to my man Mark Thompson in the building. He says, "Good night, Dash." We just getting started, man. We just getting started. Shout out to my man Money Mike in the building. He said Knicks had a good run. When I let me know. I was trying to get set up, had to go from the living room to the studio. So I might have missed a little bit. So I'm waiting for the game to come back on now. My man Tyrone Hall says, I'm on those sorry Knicks 15 turnovers in 3 quarters. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And these turnovers come at the worst times. At the worst times. Shout out to my man Ryan Big Blue podcast in the building. He says, "What's up, Big Dash? Looking like soon as full Giant season. The way the Knicks are playing, yeah. That's the way it's looking, man. Listen, I'm not even gonna say anything yet because the game we still got time on the clock. I'm not gonna say nothing yet. When there's a will, there's a way. My man Kelvin Davis, what's going on, Kelvin Davis? He says, "What up, Big Dash? My brother from another mother. What's going on? How we doing tonight? How we doing tonight?" Lamar Houston says, "Finally caught alive." Nah, I'm glad. I'm glad. Where you been? Where you been? Said finally caught alive. Mark Thompson, that's a fact. Too many turnovers for sure. For sure. My man side guy Brian says, "Don't tell Thomas he hates and he'll let you know it." Got an injured Peso on the court. I'll take the point still, though. Yeah, so how's everybody doing again? We had first week of OTAs. Three OTAs down, and a lot of people are already excited, including myself. The hype train has already started with Jackson Dart already. And a lot of people are like, it went from, what is Russell Wilson gonna do versus, I want to see Jackson Dart as soon as possible, man. So I'm gonna ask you guys, man, is it still the same for you guys? How long before we see Jackson Dart? Let me know in the comment section. How long before we see Jackson Dart? We're still gonna talk about these Knicks, so it's on a commercial break. My man Money Mike says it's crazy how a coach can have the same players another coach has, but the team plays totally different from each other. That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, my man Ryan says week 17. Nah, that's too far. That's too long, man. Listen, if that happens, though, that means that Russell Wilson is doing his job if we don't see him till week 17. I'll say that, but I'll take that. I'll take that. Mark Thompson says week 14. That's what I was thinking about, right after the bye type deal, depending on what's going on with the team. Shout out to my man, Coach Ed. Peace and blessings to my man, Coach Ed. Gladney's amazing world of sports. I see you out of the hospital. That's good news. Hopefully you're doing good back at the crib. Dwayne Murphy says, did that guy just break his ankle? I don't know, but it looked bad. It looked bad. He couldn't even get up. And they just played around him like it was nothing. Ryan says, I think they are 6-9 I think they will be 6-9. Dart comes in during the Raiders game. That would be fantastic if he did. That's the game that I'm eyeballing. That's the game that I'm eyeballing. Mark Thompson says, or rather after week 14, as that is the bye. Yeah, right after the bye. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's a late bye week too, man. That's not doing us any favors. The whole schedule's not doing us any favors, if we're going to be honest. Again, I'm not saying that I'm scared of the schedule. It is a tough schedule. Not scared of the schedule, but they didn't do us any favors the way they set these games up the first 4 weeks, especially, and then having that late bye week. God forbid we got to deal with some injuries. Guys got to get healthy, or if we're on a run, it is what it is. Dwayne said it was savage how OG still dunked on. Yeah, man, you got to listen. We need the buckets. We need the points, man. Listen, we're trying to push to a game 7, man. That's what I want, man. I need that energy. Dwayne says playoff basketball. That's a fact. Yeah, not coach. Yeah, I saw you put out the tweet saying that you were home, that you were back home. I saw it. Ryan says also never told you this one. Okay. Okay. You got your new setup. It's fire. Hoping to get mine even close. Listen, man. I'm chasing Sneaky G. Sneaky G got one of the busiest Giants backgrounds ever. I'm chasing Sneaky G. It's crazy too, because you can see the game playing in the NY reflection behind me. Hopefully they don't get me with a copyright on that one. He might have. He didn't break his ankle because he's walking it off right now. So probably just a bad sprain. Money Mike says Russ interview on Mellow Podcast was good. Russ good for the locker room and dark. Yeah, I saw that. I started watching that today actually. I saw that they put up the video. And I thought it was cool. I think I got about an hour in to the podcast. You know what? And it's funny too, because Russell ain't as corny as I thought he was. You know what I mean? He might do some cornball type things, but he ain't as corny as I thought he was. That interview did a lot for me, as far as seeing, what he's like outside of, football, even though they were talking about football. Shout out to my man James Williams in the building. He says that Russ interview was good. Yeah, it was. And he also told everybody to hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Let the algorithm know that we in the building. And the algorithm will let the other Giants fans know that we also in the building. Come on, right? Come on. Offensive board, finally. Russ is a genuine guy down. That's a fact. My man Mark Thompson says, Dash, I'm concerned about the run defense. While the pass rush will be better, I'm not convinced about the run defense. Probably a nuanced conversation. Now, you know what it is? I think we got the players that should be able to defend the run a little bit better. When you think about Ledbetter, the guy with the three names, was it Robertson Jenkins? I really got to remember that guy's name. Roy Robertson Harris. That's what it is. Roy Robertson Harris. And then you figure that Darius Alexander, his highest grade was in run defense. So obviously it's all on paper right now, but I think they added some guys that should be able to stop the run. Chauncey Golston, another one. So we have to see that now. As far as the pass rush goes, I agree with you. I think we should be able to get a good pass rush going, but I think we brought the bodies in to be able to stop the run. I think that's what they were looking for when they got those guys. My man James Williams says, no, he's pretty corny, but he's our guy now. I was trying to save him a little bit, man. He was all right, man. He was all right in the interview. Man, James says Hart is killing the Knicks tonight. Listen, man, when Hart doesn't play aggressive, and that's pretty much the whole series, these guys can't get back on defense or nothing. That's a good foul there, though, by Shamet. Yeah, they call them the Pacers for a reason. Because these guys can run, man, for sure. My man Coach Ed said, I'm about to dive into football mode, dissect college football, high school football, and the NFL. We already know how you get down, Coach. One of the most thorough when it comes to breaking down football at every level. So I can't wait for that. Happy that you're back in good spirits too, good health. And I already know you're going to make up for some lost time for sure. James Worthy says, who's our kicker going to be? We are. You know what it is. You know what's funny? I've been making fun of Grams Gano. I've been making fun of him. And then I saw I saw some kicks from practice, highlights from practice. It's blasphemous, but he looked pretty good kicking the ball. But it's a real concern for me. I can't trust him. The first time somebody blocks a kick or somebody breaks a run on kick return, he could be hurt if he's trying to chase somebody down and make a tackle. And that's the issue. He can't stay healthy. But when he's healthy, he's a pretty good kicker. He's just getting old, man. Father Time, man. Father Time is undefeated. Good Lord. Right now, the Knicks are down 11. Obi Toppin is running wild. McConnell left wide open for the three-pointer. Did he get it? Nope. Rebound, Cat Williams. It's Cat Williams. Good Lord. Rebound, Cat. My man Dwayne Murphy says, I was not a fan of the Dart pick, but I can't help but like the kid. Now, yeah, listen, it's not about Dart himself for me, and you already know what it is. It was me being a big fan of Shedeur Sanders. Appreciating Dart's game, appreciating Cam Ward's game, even the kid from Syracuse, um, uh, McCord, even him. Appreciating the game, but I was just heavy. What Shador saying is now that we got Jackson Dart, I'm with you. But listen, Jackson Dart is our quarterback. We ride with Jackson Dart. That's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, man, Corinne says the Knicks are cursed. Listen, it's been a long time. Long time. That last championship trophy is older than most of the people in here right now. Definitely older than me. D'Angelo Dole says, what position do you think is our biggest weakness? Right now, I will say unproven. I'll give it to you. Just pause. Biggest weakness on the team right now. I got a couple different areas. And I'm gonna say question marks. I'll say question marks. I really need JMS to be better at center. I think that's one of the biggest weaknesses unknown right now for on the offensive line. Outside of that, I really got to see what Tay Banks is going to be able to do. But outside of that, I like the way this team is looking. But that whole what is Neil going to do versus how is JMS going to play? That's the O-line is still going to be the biggest question mark for me right now. Andrew Thomas, can he stay healthy? I think that's the weakness right now because I like what everybody else brings to the table. My man Ruben came in fire. He says, I ain't worried about nothing this year. We want all the smoke. Listen, I like the energy. I like that energy. Let me get my background music going because it's a little dry right now. We're going to do Yep. Yeah, we do that one. All right, let me get back to that. Ruben said he ain't worried about nothing. He want all the smoke. James Worthy says, can Daves win enough games to stay on board and keep consistency between quarterback and coach? All Daves needs to do is stop focusing on just one side of the ball. He got to be the head coach and not just the offensive coordinator, which I think he's going to do. And since we're talking about that, thank you, James. Quick segue. Now, so far, we've heard that Kafka has been radioing in the plays. So for me, just like last year, Dable was doing it. This year, Kafka is doing it. So I think that Kafka is going to be the one calling the plays. And you know what they'll do? They'll string us along all through training camp, get the preseason, and then they'll probably let us know. Maybe not even then. Maybe the first week they'll let us know. But I think right now they can't hold secrets too much, man. It's the Giants. They're bad at that. They're bad at keeping secrets. So I think he is giving Kafka back the ball. Yeah, Brunson and the turnovers. That's a fact. Coach Ed says, I'm concerned with Josh still at left. Oh, you talking about a Zoodle? Yeah, I saw that. So, so obviously they're letting Andrew Thomas do his thing as far as his recovery from, his Liz Frank. And then I saw it today. I mean, not today. I saw it the other day. James Hudson was getting the starting snaps or starting reps, if you want to call them that, during the OTAs at left tackle. And then Joshua Zoodle was listed as left tackle number 2. And they haven't learned yet. Zoodle is not a tackle at all, at all. And then next to him was Evan Neal. So they made it official too. So last time we spoke, it was all about the rumors of Evan Neal and the feeling that he was going to move to guard. It's become official. We haven't really seen him at guard yet as far as the videos. A lot of the clips that came out weren't 11 on 11. They were not allowed to tape during 11 on 11 or to record the beat writers. So we didn't see the lineups. I was asking a bunch of beat writers. I asked Pat Leonard. I asked Art Stapleton. I was asking these guys what was the lineup? How were these guys lined up? So we didn't see it, but they let us know it was James Hudson, and then Runyon, JMS, Van Roten, and Illuminor. So that's what the line is looking like. And I remember Van Roten was at the podium talking about the offensive line room being the best it's been since he's been here. You only been here a year. Van Roten. What are you talking about? But he did say, he complimented the depth on the offensive line. And for me, the funny thing about him saying that is, yeah, you might have some guys with some experience on the offensive line, but when it comes down to cutting it to the final 53, the offensive line is going to be mostly the same, except for Bo. You know what I mean? I don't see anybody else outside of James Hudson and Bo. But if we're not keeping like 10 offensive linemen, then that offensive line is pretty much going to be the same as it was last year, except for you added Hudson and then you got Marcus Bowe. So, and for me, that's one thing I didn't get an answer for, because I asked the beat writers too. I said, where was, Marcus Bowe playing? Because a lot of people saying, oh, he can play guard, he can play center, he's playing right tackle. I want him to play right tackle, but we got to see what's going on with that though. My man, Side Guy Bryce says our biggest positional weakness is the ownership. I feel you, man. I feel you. Coach said I was 6 when the Knicks last won a chip. Yeah, it's crazy. Right now, it's a 14-point lead with 6 minutes left. If they don't go on some type of run immediately, it's over. It's over. Cat has a double-double right now. See, this plays like that, man. You got to contest that shot. Get your hands up. The transitional defense has been awful for the Knicks, man. You got the Pacers going full court press. Brunson trying to put the team on his back. That's a strong layup there. All right, still a 14-point game. 6 minutes left on the clock. I don't know, man. Might be over for these Knicks, man. We'll see what happens, though. Oh, boy. Halliburton with the layup. They up 16. Push the ball, please. Mark Thompson said, put it out. I'm going to shut my TV off in a second. Cat doing what Cat does, throwing up 3-pointers. Okay, good offensive rebound for the putback. Yeah, this Knick game is crazy. And so I'm going to leave it up there for a while. My man Clinton Jones, what's going on, Clinton Jones? He says, how you doing? I'm doing fine, man. The Knicks aren't doing good, but I'm doing fine. It's Saturday. I'm enjoying my weekend so far. Money Mike says, on ain't going nowhere. I've learned to just let that go. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that. This is when you think about a lot of these NFL owners, a lot of these guys have other stuff going on. You know, you got some guys that produce movies, some people in the oil business, some people in the real estate, some people, stock markets. John Mara is a football. That's it. That's where the bulk of his money comes from. That's who he is. They ain't going nowhere. They're not giving that up. They're going to own it for another 100 years. After we're all gone, it's still going to be a Mara in there running the team. Unless they run out of male Maras. And then it'll be whoever the kid or some of the daughters is going to be with a new last name. What's the guy they got now? The nephew, McConnell? He might be the next one up. He said, yes, sir. But now we're going to get into these OTAs again. This game is over. I'm about to turn my TV off. And yeah, there you go. Good Lord. Down 16 with 5 minutes left. They didn't do anything with it. Okay. All right, let's get back to football. He says, what'd you say, Coach? My man James Word says, this roster is built like a vintage Giants team, run heavy play action with the dependable to exceptional wide receivers with a crazy pass rush and solid secondary. You know what's crazy about that, though? Because I think this team, I agree with you, James. I think this team is built, and it's the closest thing we've seen to like a New York Giants team. And we even got the 2 running backs now. Now, again, even Scatterbo will tell you, yeah, it's over. That's a 3-point. I'm turning my TV off. It's over. Good season for the Knicks, man, but it's over. But no, I think the way this team has been built, the only thing that we were missing is being able to stop the run, because we got the edge rushers. Now we feel like we got the defensive line, and then the secondary was revamped. I like Paulson Adebo. I like Javon Holland. I like what those guys bring to the table. And for me, there's no excuses. And a lot of people are on that same wave when it comes to this New York Giants defense. There's no excuses for the New York Giants defense. There might be some question marks. There might be some question marks for the offensive side, because, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. The offensive line got to stay healthy. But I think as far as this defense is concerned, I think we're in a good spot, man. I really do think we're in a good spot. So one thing I want to talk about is, there's always some trade rumors. There's always people talking about adding somebody. Last week it was Amari Cooper and Gabe Davis and guys like that. Now Kyle Pitts, man. Are you seeing these Kyle Pitts rumors? Do the New York Giants need another tight end? Do we need a Kyle Pitts on this squad? I don't think so. Let me know what you guys think about that stuff, man. I saw I think it was Fireside and some other people that were talking about, the Giants' interest in trading for Kyle Pitts. First of all, I'm not trying to give up any picks. We already missing a third rounder for next year because we gave it up for Jackson Dart. I'm not trying to trade a fourth for Kyle Pitts. No. Especially a guy that you got to turn around and pay soon too. And even I don't think the Falcons even picked up his 5th-year option. So for the people that want Kyle Pitts, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm not trying to get Kyle Pitts, man. Leave me. I got enough tight ends. Let me worry about the tight ends I got on the roster already before I start worrying about a guy like Kyle Pitts, especially with a guy that hasn't done anything. He needs a change of scenery. But even when we had Evan Ingram, he at least he produced. At least he produced. A guy like Kyle Pitts, everybody's saying, okay, he's a bust, in my opinion. Respectfully, I say that, though. Shout out to my man Jay Ferris in the building with the $5 super chat. He says, guys, sign up for the Big Dad subscription feed. Buy a hat. Russ over under 8 games. I'm taking the over on 8 games for Russ. I'm taking the over. That's me. I'm taking the over for Russ for sure. Yeah, I'm not feeling that Kyle Pitts stuff, man. My man James says, no, man, absolutely not on Kyle Pitts. Yeah. Shout out to my man Dip. Shout out to my man Dip the Tip Pause. He says, does Javon Holland missing tackles and posting the depot PIs worry anyone? You know what? Of course they're going to always worry people. Like but you don't want to change the way these guys play. Now, Javon Holland as a safety, you don't want a guy that's missing tackles at your safety position, because by the time somebody makes it to that level, your safety is exactly what his name is, the safety, your last line of defense. You got it. Like I said, it might have to do something with the injuries or something like that, but no, I think he'll be fine. But of course, missing tackles, posting if he's getting a lot of pass interference, yes, I'm going to be worried about that. Same way I'm worried about Tate Banks not turning his head around. But I'm not going to focus on that right now. Games have not been played yet. I'm going to focus on the positives right now, but I will stay aware of, some issues that these guys might have. Shout out to my man TP Way, the Giant in the building. He says, Peach Dash in the chat, I don't understand the logic of another tight end, but if that's what Dable needs to succeed, then I guess no. We do not need another tight end. I don't care what Dable says. We got to get the tight ends that we got on the team already to ball. And we worried about Kyle Pitts because Kyle Pitts is different because he's one of those receiving tight ends, more of like a Darren Waller. And we saw what happened with Darren Waller. Yes, we got better quarterback play, but again, you got to take guys off the field when it comes to that. And before I move on, if you guys are not subscribed to my man TP Way, the Giant, first off, shame on you. If you're a Giants fan and you're not subscribed to TP Way, the Giant, you need to go ahead and fix that. And you can do that right now by clicking on that man's picture and subscribing to his channel. Shout out to TP Way. Same thing for my man Coach Ed in the building as well. And the same thing for my man Ryan with the Big Blue podcast. Make sure you support, all your Giants content creators out there. We spread love here. That's a fact. Pitts is a bust. I'm sorry. My man South says no more tight ends. The New Yorker says, I look forward to seeing Theo and Scat. Yeah, me too. And the best thing about Theo too, when we saw clips, when the beat writers were in the building, when media had access, we saw some of the tight end drills, and Theo Johnson's out there participating, and then you love to see it because he had, surgery over the break. And I'm happy that he's back and look like he's ready to go. So Theo Johnson should be ready to go. And if we're going to be concerned about anything in our list of concerns, Theo Johnson got to hold on to the ball. I think he will be able to do that, though. I think that happens. And you already know I'm a big Daniel Bellinger fan, and we know that he doesn't have an issue dropping the ball. Oh man, Jay Ferris says Pitts was amazing in college in his first year. He does not want to do anything now. You know what? I haven't watched that many Falcons games. I just hear what people are saying. And in the few games that I have watched with Pitts, I don't necessarily think that the issue is him. It's just opportunities. But again, I'm not watching those games as closely as I watch the Giants games. Like, I enjoy other teams, watching other teams play, but I don't analyze those teams like I analyze the Giants. But yeah, all I know is that he has not played up to par. Jay Ferris is not a bullish now. All the Giants fans' minds are warped. Nah, it's crazy. Even like I said, even the Gabe Davis stuff, man. I'm still seeing posts for Gabe Davis, and they're like, okay, well, who do you move to the bench for Gabe Davis? I'm not moving anybody to the bench for Gabe Davis at all. He's not even healthy right now. And they keep saying that the Giants continue communication with Gabe Davis. You know why they continue communication? Because he's not healthy yet. They're not going to make that move. And so for me, I'm not even going to think about Gabe Davis. You know what I will think about? I will think about Jaylen Hyatt and how he made some plays in OTAs this week. I'll talk about that. I'm this much closer to finding my Hyatt is open. Had to put that back on because hopefully they're able to do something. Hopefully get him involved. If David wants to do anything, if he wants a project with anybody outside of Jackson Dart, make Jaylen Hyatt your project because he has a certain skill set that can't be taught, and that speed, and we got to be able to utilize that. And hopefully the Moonballs will do just that. James Worthy says, am I tripping? But is our best linebacker Micah McFadden? I got to ask you a question. I think our most improved and guy that keeps on getting better is Micah McFadden when it comes to the linebacker room. I don't think he's better than Bobby Okereke, though. Bobby Okereke did have a down year, and a lot of people are upset about that. And they're putting him on the back burner. But I think Bobby Okereke is still the best off-ball linebacker that we have on the team right now. I can't put Micah McFadden in front of him yet, but production-wise, you can't argue with stats. And Micah McFadden is a tackling machine right now, even though he got an issue with missing a couple tackles as well. But Micah McFadden is always most likely in the right place at the right time. Just got to finish more. My man D'Angelo says, I just want to see what an offense looks like with a grown-up under center. Pause. Yeah, now I get it. You want a quarterback with that can actually play quarterback. I get it. Oh, we got a Dodger fan in the building. Oh boy, Mickey, don't get beat up in the chat. Don't get beat up in the chat. Coach Ed says, real talk, bring Mark. Yeah, I wish. Bring Mark Bavaro in to talk to the team, and most importantly, our tight end room. Now, I would love that. They keep bringing back the legends. I believe it. Who was it? Yesterday was it Rodney Hampton? I think it was pictures of Rodney Hampton. I think that's who was there talking yesterday. But they keep bringing the legends in. I love it too. And who was talking about the legends being in the building? One of the players was talking about I think it was Javon Holland saying he appreciated, having those guys in the building, the guys that won Super Bowls. Also, Howard Cross also talked to the team as well this week. So it's when things are brewing, like when Dable first got here in 2022, we saw the same things. So he's dipping in that 2022 bag, getting guys in the building, guys that played here, had some success here, won championships here. Talking to this team because you got a lot of new faces here, man. It's not just a team of losers anymore. You got guys that came from programs that were winning. You got guys that coming from college with high hopes. You know what? We need that energy for sure. Shout out to my man Jay First with the $10 super chat. He says, are you bullish on Russ? Closer to our age than Dart, 4 teams in 5 years. Would he be on a team without us? Nobody signing him, but we Bulls again. All right, so I just think about our situation prior to Russ, right? And this will go into what Pat Leonard was talking about in his article. When it comes to Russell Wilson, expectations for me are all over the place. Some days I'm like, yeah, we can win some games with Russ. Then I'm like, okay, yeah, to your point, he's been on a couple different teams in a few years. How much of that was his fault? We already know what happened in Denver. Denver was a debacle. And the funny thing is his first year in Denver was horrible. Second year, he played better. And then when he went to Pittsburgh, he had all right stats and missed a lot of games as well, but played pretty well, went to the playoffs. Had some decent games, but they fell apart at the end. Not all his fault. So for me, I can't say that I'm bullish on Russ. It's just that I think that the quarterback play, even him in his older age, should be better. And when I think about this offense last year and guys actually being able to get open, guys being frustrated that they're not getting the ball because they were open. I think Russ is a guy that can get these guys the ball as long as, the offensive line is doing what they're supposed to be doing. But also, just like the offensive line helps the quarterback helps the offensive line, and Russell Wilson can make those quicker decisions and, throw the ball on time. I think, good things happen or come from that. So I can't say that I'm just bullish, but I'm confident. Shout out to my man Off Broadway. What's going on, bro? He says, Big Dash, what's up? G Fam, what's up? Shout out to my man Off Broadway, man. Jay Ferris says the Legends get those social media clicks. For some people, they do. My man Ed said, R.I.P. Knicks, man. Yeah, it was ugly. It's the same thing, too, man. That's the one thing that pisses me off about the Knicks. The lack of adjustments. I feel like I could coach better than Tom Thibodeau. But again, I'm just a guy. I'm just a fan. But just a lack of adjustments. Some certain things you feel like that are easy fixes that they're not doing. The way you sub people in, the way you run your offense. How come you're not running your offense through Cat? Put Cat in the box. Get the ball down low. If he gets stuck, pass it back out for the jump shot. Just simple things, man. I don't know. But listen, it's over for the Knicks. We full on NFL. No other distractions. Shout out to my man Phil in the building. He says, do you think we were a quarterback away? We were in quite a few games last year. We didn't make a whole lot of changes. Hope it's all we needed. That's a good question. Because I didn't think we were a quarterback away. And I think Russ does help a lot of things. I think the QB room altogether does a lot. But I still got to think about the defense and being able to stop the run. Now, if we can stop the run and the guys that we brought in this year, in this offseason, whether it be free agency or the draft, if this defense can improve and the offensive line can stay healthy and play better, then absolutely we are a quarterback away. But, it is what it is. And hopefully that guy's Jackson Dart. I don't know, we'll see we'll see when we get a chance to see Jackson Dart next year, or this season, I should say. Rainbow Cookie says, love the live streams. Keep up the good work, Dash. Salute to you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the love and support. My man Lou Flame. Is it Lou Flame or Lou? Is it Lou? No, I'm sorry, Lou Flame. My bad. They are saying Kafka might take over play calling. Thoughts on that? Dable never had a true quarterback to run his offense. I do think that Kafka is taking over the play calling. Dable has to be able to focus on the entire team. I've said it a bunch of times during the live streams and my regular videos too. I hated to see when the offense was off the field and the defense was on the field, Dable was nowhere on the sideline to be found. He was back there coaching the offensive line. He had no feeling of what was going on with the defense, and I didn't like it. You have an offensive coordinator for a reason. Yes, I know you're the play caller, but you got to be able to, let your assistant coaches do what you can't do, and you can't leave the sideline to talk to your offensive line when your defense is on the field. If you're the head coach, you just can't do that. But I rambled a little bit, but I do think Kafka will be taking over the play calling for sure. Mark Thompson says, stick a fork in the next year. It's over. It's over. My man Dip says Russ will be good enough. That's a good way to put it. I think as long as we 1, stop the run, 2, make field goals, and 3, cut out the illegal formations and illegal motions, we'll be competitive. Let me tell you, the illegal man downfield, that made me want to rip my TV off the wall, man. The illegal man downfield, and the crazy thing about it is, I think you have less calls. Just give those guys 1 more yard. And that could just be a bias thing because we keep on, having that penalty called against us. Give them 1 more yard, man. But that illegal man downfield, illegal formations, that's all coaching, man. That's all coaching. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people felt the way that I felt at the end of the season. Like it was too many things happening that were not in the Giants' favor that shouldn't have been happening. Not with a guy that's been coaching the same team for 3 years. or 3 seasons. You should not be making the same formation mistakes. But again, do I believe that he was coaching these guys wrong? Absolutely not. But for me, again, you got to cut those things out, man. Stopping the run is the most important, though. I agree with that. Number one, making field goals, making sure you got a field goal, well, a kicker that's healthy. And you might even need a backup kicker, man. I don't know. Just like you got an emergency quarterback, you should have an emergency kicker too. I think they should allow that. Or at least, or have the Scottish Hammer practice field goals too. You know, they want to cross-train the offensive lineman, cross-train the punter. Tyrone says, I'm on the OKC bandwagon till July. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you might as well get him the championship right now. Might as well get him the championship right now. That's why I'm at, Money Mike. Beating the Celtics to lose to the Pacers is crazy. That's why I'm at. That's why I'm at. Makes no sense at all. Makes no sense at all. Off Broadway says Dable is coaching for his job security. He better have Kafka play call. The Giants stats were better when Kafka called the games. Okay. Yeah. I agree with that. Now you're absolutely right, Coach A. He says the illegal man downfield sometimes is a product of the RPO. Now that is very true. That is very true. My man Mark Thompson says, I'm not convinced Dable is the guy. I think a lot of people are feeling this, feeling that same way. For me, a lot, like for me last year, it was like, okay, get rid of Shane, get rid of Dable, get rid of them both. I think Shane has done enough to save his job even this year, unless it's an absolute debacle. I think that, so I think Shane is off of the hot seat. He might be standing next to the hot seat, but he's not on the hot seat anymore. Dable is definitely still on the hot seat. Definitely on the hot. And Shane Bowen is standing on top of the hot seat right now. Somebody gonna kick that hot seat over for Shane. That's how I feel about those three guys. I think Shane is safe. Shane Bowen is probably on the 4-game rope, and then Brian Dable is still on the hot seat as well. My man Phil, great point. He says, any way you slice it, the Giants vibe is different. Now, that's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. Off Broadway says, I think Russ will make the receivers better. Hyatt will be open and get a pass or two, or get a pass or 2 or 3 for touchdowns. I hope he finally gets a touchdown, man, in a few of them. I don't think there's a reason why he shouldn't. And then speaking of Hyatt, thank you, Off Broadway. Speaking of Hyatt, we got some news this week of kind of what happened last year and why his playing time was what it was, and how he was not a part of the game plan and wasn't getting snaps. Pretty much he was in the doghouse like everybody else thought, but they pretty much kind of confirmed it with the rumors saying that he didn't see eye to eye with the coaching staff. He was frustrated also with with the administrative staff or management, I should say. And yeah, that's why he wasn't getting played. He wasn't getting any action because they weren't seeing eye to eye. So for me, a lot of people like, see, that's what I'm talking about. That actually makes me feel a lot better. He's not, because it wasn't like they didn't play him because he was unplayable. They didn't play him because he was in the doghouse. So I feel a little bit better about that. And then when you add him being able to make plays in OTAs already, that's good for him. That's good for him. My man Jay Ferris says, cool, only their mothers are gonna watch the NBA final. Ain't nobody watching it. I'm not watching it. Basketball for me, Knicks ain't playing. Basketball's over for me right now. I watch the highlights on ESPN or something. Maybe I'll watch it on my phone. Something like that. What's going on, Hirsch? My man Low Flame says, Giants QBs never get to sit and learn. Notice how they always end up playing their rookie seasons. Can't wait to see Dart. So I'm gonna ask you a question, Low Flame. When do you expect to see Dart? Because you're saying they never get a chance to sit and learn, but you also say you can't wait to see him. When are you trying to see Dart? For me, I hope he sits for the majority of the season for two reasons. That means the New York Giants are playing better. Also, that gives him a better chance to succeed once he's able to take over. I don't want to see Dart, man. Preseason, fantastic. Let him play a lot of the preseason. Let him get a lot of those reps. Let him play the second half of all those games. I don't need to see Tommy DeVito, respectfully. So I want to see a lot of Dart in the preseason. Then after that, put him on ice. Let him season. Luann finally tuned in because the game is over. Said disappointed in the Knicks. Yeah, it was sad. You can't go out like that. You need a little bit more fight. Need better coaching, better gameplay. Cat thinks he's a 7-foot shooting guard. I don't know, man. We could talk about the Knicks all day. I'm not going to do that, man. I'm not going to do that. My man Sean Dale says, I want to see more interceptions and more first downs on offense. I want to see more touchdowns. I want to see more points being scored. Touchdowns to be exact. But now I agree with you. I think that's why they went and got Paulson Adebo. I will say this too, though. Javon Holland is another guy, but Tyler Nubin is the guy that I'm looking at too in the secondary, because I know what the guy's capable of in college. He was a ball hawk in college, and we didn't get a chance to see that, his rookie season. He was supporting the run a lot. Again, he had to play that role, but he is a versatile safety, and we haven't even scratched the surface when it comes to Tyler Nubin. We think Javon Holland is good. Also, we love McKinney. Tyler Nubin is pretty good when it comes to pass coverage. Again, we haven't seen that yet. Hopefully, Bowen can scheme something up, though. Off Broadway says Dable needs to cover the over 5.5 for me and his job security. Yeah, that's easy money. We're going to win more than 5 games, bro. We're going to win more than 5. Jay Ferris with the $2 super chat says, when are you excited? 1-1, 4-4 is bullish to me. All right, we'll call it bullish then. I'll be bullish. You convinced me. I'm bullish. My man Dip says, I'm not a Knicks fan, but man, I wanted them to win for their fans. It has to be hard rooting for the Knicks. That is true, sir. What's your team? Let me know what your team is. James Worthy says they was treating Hyatt like Kenny Galladay. They had him in the doghouse. They had him under the doghouse. But even Kenny Galladay, that last year he was here in 2022, at least he was out there blocking. He was out there pancaking people. It is what it is. So, my man Tony Owens in the building says, Big Dash, what's up, man? Good to see you, bro. Working a mandatory Saturday. I'm just checking in. Now, salute to you, man. Go ahead and get that money. Mandatory Saturdays. I don't miss that. I used to have to work Saturdays. I remember that. Working Sundays is worse. I say that too. Man, some people might love it, though. Them weekends is tough, though. Luann says, Dash, what is all the talk about Giants signing Gabe Davis? I thought Buffalo signed him. He is hurt. We have not signed Gabe Davis unless it happened in the last hour, and I missed it. Gabe Davis is hurt. He coming back off injury. The last thing I read about Gabe Davis is the New York Giants are staying in contact with him. I saw that rumor too about him going back to the Buffalo Bills, but to me, it makes sense for him to go back to Buffalo. Go back to where you had the most success. Go back to Josh Allen. I don't know if they got room for him right now. We'll see what happens though. Tyrone Hall, what's going on, Tyrone? He says, do you think the DB coach getting fired will come back to bite us? I hope not. I was a big fan of Jerome Henderson. Big fan of Jerome Henderson. I didn't feel like he should have been the scapegoat at all. Definitely shouldn't have been fired. I don't think he did that kind of job. But if people want to blame Tay Banks and what happened with Tay Banks, or maybe there were some other things going on behind the scenes, but I don't know. I hope not. The guy that we picked up to replace him, Marquand, he's a pretty good coach, and he got DC experience as well. Coached under Dan Quinn. I like him too. So we'll see what happens. On possible signing, I meant okay. Now, yeah. I mean, I don't want to do it. I don't think we need Gabe Davis if we're going to be honest. If I'm going to be honest. Josh Hart looks like a Benny Hill kid. That's only fun. I'm laughing because I know exactly what you mean. Be running around crazy. James Worthy says Russ can be okay if you can run the ball. That's when Russ can be okay if you can run the ball, that's when Russ, Ball, he can play the play action with the quarterback, and his team has a defense that complements a run-heavy game plan. I think so. If we can run the ball, then we'd be able to do a lot of things. Being able to run the ball is very, very important. Just think about all the Giants teams that you rooted for. The run game was always strong with them. It might not have been the best, but the run game was the 80s. Joe Morris. You know, when you think about the last two, Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw. You know what I mean? We always had a solid running game. Shout out to my man James in the building. Says BBK fellas. Big Blue. Big Blue knockout. Fellas are going to be pissed over the Knicks. Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Kenny Galladay was a mirage. You guys are hilarious. Here we go. My man Dope Dez. What's going on, Dope Dez? He says Brian put himself on the hot seat. That debacle with Wink made it difficult to get any quality defensive coordinators. When you read more about that story, and obviously when we had Wink, I thought Wink was the best coach we had on the staff. They didn't have any prior relationship prior to him coming here to coach with Brian Day. They never coached together. They did butt heads. One thing about Wink Martindale, he's an alpha. Also, he's set in his ways. And you hear some of the stories about him, putting certain times for the defense meetings and then starting the meetings early and not including Dable. It was a lot of wild stuff happening. And at the end of the day, you can only have one guy running the show. And Dable was the head coach, so I think that's what happened. But it was hard to see Wink go, for sure. I wish they would have been able to work things out, but it got petty at the end, too. He just disappeared, didn't show up. They fired the outside linebacker coaches, and he didn't like it. And listen, man, there's only one head coach at the end of the day. My man Dip says, who is the one player you're most excited about seeing this season? Mine is Drew Phillips. Can't wait to see him in year 2. In all honesty, for me, I'm stuck between Darius Alexander and Abdul Carter. I kind of know what to expect from Abdul Carter. He's going to be played in all over the place for the most part. Off ball, off the edge. You're going to be blitzing them, all this other stuff. You might see a little bit of coverage too. But Darius Alexander being able to stop the run, the most important thing for me for the New York Giants is being able to stop the run. So I want to see, and I do think Darius Alexander is going to be the starter next to Dex. That's who I'm most excited to see. Obviously, I want to see Russ. Obviously, I love Malik Neighbors and stuff like that. But that's what I want to see for you, Andrew Phillips. That's a good one to call out. I kind of know what to expect from Drew Phillips. Again, physical corner. Can he take his game to the next level? Like we know he can tackle. Is he going to be better in coverage? Is he going to get more turnovers? Is he going to cause more fumbles? Because we saw him do that first game of the season last year against the Vikings. Is he going to get more interceptions? Is the secondary going to get more interceptions? But it's a lot of things that I'm excited about. But for me, if I had to point at one player right now, is Darius Alexander right now. Shout out to my man off Broadway with the super sticker, $5 super sticker. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate the love and support, man. Lil Flame says, I'm just saying, as a New York Giant fan, or saying New York Giant fans, we are used to seeing our rookie quarterbacks play early. We don't know what it's like to have a QB sit a year or two. Yeah, The closest thing we had was Eli when he got here. And what was that, 7 games before we saw Eli? I think it was 7 games, 8 games before we saw Eli. Somebody give me the refresher on that. It's like 7 games, right? 7 or 8. Were we 5-3? I think we were 5-3, and then Eli came in. I think it was 5-3. So 8 games, 8 weeks. I think that's what it was. My man James says, nailed it, Dash. He says Jerome Henderson was a sacrificial lamb, a scapegoat. Both deserve to be fired. No, yeah. Why are you going to do that, Jay Ferris? Jay Ferris says trade Hyatt for 8th round. We're not going to do that. I mean, obviously 8th rounders don't exist, but I'm just saying I think Hyatt has a better season, better production, more production, I should say. Mr. What says, bro, the Knicks. Yeah, I already know. It is what it is. Now, I appreciate it, bro. Always says the stickers because I appreciate the work you do. Keep it up, my G. Will do. Thank you very much. Again, thank you for the love and support, man. As always. As always. Shout out to the day ones that's in here. Luann says we need Spags. Spags ain't coming back. I wish. Go back to the 4-3 with Spags. I wish. Hirsch said Hyatt was so bad they steal your towels. What does that even mean? They steal your towels. That flew over my head, Hirsch. Jay Ferris says no good coordinators want to work for a bum. Well, I think it's this too. Because a lot of people from the outside looking in, they know that Dable's on a hot seat. And now if you're a coordinator, you don't want to move every time you get you don't want to have to move all the time. One thing about coaching is if the head coach gets fired, most likely you're getting fired too. That's tough on the family to be moving around, because just think about these guys. And so if you're going into if you see a situation or a job open up and you're like, okay, well, this guy's on the hot seat, you probably don't want to go there, because this might be a one shot deal, and then I gotta uproot my family again. A lot of these guys got to think about stuff like that. Like, just think about the guy who was our running back coach last year. He came here for 1 year. New Orleans got a new head coach. We ended up getting their running back coach. He got homesick and left. Went back to New Orleans. Another job opened up. He went back home. I don't blame him for that. Who wants to keep moving their family around? You got, especially these coaches, they got kids and most likely high school and stuff like that. You don't want to keep moving your family around. That sucks. So yeah, if the team's not doing well, you're probably not going to want to go there. Job security is key, especially in this business. It's rocky. It's a lot of turnover. So I don't blame these guys. But to your point, yeah, if you want to say the coach is a bum and that's why, yeah, I understand. I understand that reasoning. Jay Ferris said they fired every black man. Can't argue. Yeah, because what was it? Dude from New England, they did him dirty. Gerard Mayo, they did him dirty. My man Phil says it was a plan. Wear him down with Jacobs. Ward smashed him too, and then hit him at the end with the quick as crap Shifty Bradshaw. Now, yeah, that's what it was when we had Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then we only had Earth and Fire at the end for the second round. Yeah, no, that's what it is. Now we got Scatterable, Tracy, and Singletary, and we'll find out who plays who. We already know what Scat is going to be. He's most likely going to be the Thunder, but I think these guys are versatile too. Brian Sutton says, shout out to my Knicks, Dash. Yeah, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They got there, couldn't get back to the chip. It is what it is. It was a good season, though. It was a good season. They're moving in the right direction. They need a new coach, though. What's crazy? One guy that has deserved a head coaching job is Sam Cassell, in my opinion. I'll go ahead and get Sam Cassell. That's what I would do. Shout out to my man A-Trax in the building. He says, what up, Dash and family? What's going on, A-Trax? How you doing on this Saturday night? Luann says, Dash, remember John Fox, our defensive coordinator? He was good. I remember that. We had a lot of guys on the staff, man. Had a lot of good coaches. Like, we had some of the best staffs. That was what was that 2000? When we had Fox, late 90s, 2000s, we had him with Jim Fossil. We had Sean Payton on that staff. Yeah. Kafka better have a plan with all these tight ends. We're only keeping 3 of them, I think. If we go with 10 offensive linemen, we're probably going to have 3 tight ends. If we go 9 offensive linemen, maybe you squeeze that 4th tight end. But we are keeping 3 quarterbacks this year, though. It was 5-4. Okay. It was 5-4 when Eli took over. Okay. Thank you for that. Jay Ferris said Puffy not guilty. We ain't talking about Diddy here. Mellow Trade says Big Dash needed this stream. Knicks let me down bad, bro. Ready for a preseason game night. Yeah. Oh, preseason game right now. Yeah. Nah, I get it. I need football right away too. Right away. Was it the Giants are back? Next OTA is going to be the 2nd. So what's that? Tuesday? 2nd is Tuesday? No, 2nd is Monday. Tomorrow's the 1st. Yeah, 2nd is Monday. So we got Monday, Tuesday, and then they take a short break and they come back for the 5th. So we got 3 more OTAs this week coming up. And a lot of people was panicking. Me too. Not really panicking, but we saw that Malik Neighbors wasn't participating in the team drills because of the toe injury. He decided that he didn't want to get any kind of surgery. It's been one that's been nagging him since college. Low maintenance right now. For me, I think a lot of that has to do with fear and not ever having surgery. I don't believe he's ever had surgery or anything like that before. So, just like with the concussion, remember when Neighbors got the concussion last year? That was like his first concussion ever. You see how long it took him to get back. So for him, maybe he's avoiding that toe surgery. But it might be something that hopefully he can play through it the entire season. But if it continues to nag him next offseason, he better think about getting that surgery. I'll say that. Mark says, Dash, I'm calling it a night. Knicks got me pissed off. Nothing but negativity will come out of me. Have a great show. Shout out to you. Again, we started late too, man. We started late. I pushed the stream back an hour. I usually start at 9 o'clock Eastern time. I pushed it to 10 o'clock for the Knicks game. So we'll see how far we go because it's already 11 o'clock on the East Coast right now. So I don't blame you. So good night to you, Mark. And enjoy the rest of your night. Get some good rest. I don't know if you got to work tomorrow or anything like that, but enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll holler at you. Nah, I think it was either I think Luann was right with the 5-4. I thought it was 5-3. I know we had a winning. I know we weren't 5-5. I know we had a winning record when we sat Kurt Warner and put Eli in. I just wasn't sure if it was. I was thinking it was 5-3, 5-3. But Luann said 5-4. I'm assuming Luann checked, or either she just remembered. That's just. Oh wow, Brooklyn Dodgers smacked the Yankees 18-2. It's funny you called them the Brooklyn Dodgers, but that's a fact. They were from Brooklyn. 18-2. So the Knicks lose, and then the Yankees got spanked. I ain't even think about the Yankees game today. I was tuned in for it last night, but I wasn't even worried about that game today. My man Darnell says, Big Dash, this one hurt. Knicks for life. New York forever, man. Yeah, it's especially going out the way that they did, man. It was like easy tweaks to the game, to the scheme for Tibbs. Like Tom is gone. Like we should be getting that announcement soon that Tom Thibodeau was no longer the coach of the Knicks. That should happen as soon as possible. Yeah, he said Sam Cassell was nasty in 2001 NBA Inside Drive. We used to battle on that Inside Drive. Coach Ed said if the Knicks let Tibbs go, they may hire Rick Brunson. I don't know about that, Coach. That would be like a Knicks thing to do. Oh yeah, I don't want this ain't high school, man. I don't want the head coach being the son of the star player. I don't know how that don't sit right with me at the pro level. I might be overthinking it. Rick Brunson might be a good coach. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. That don't seem like something. I don't know. I don't know about that, man. Shout out to my man Joe in the building. Joseph Wilcox in the building. Said, what's up, Dash? We are going to be 10-7. That's what I'm looking. That's what I'm hoping for. 10-7 is what I'm hoping for. We get our respect back with 10-7, for sure. 9-8, 10-7. We get our respect back with that. So yeah, I'm hoping for something like that for sure. My man Lil Flame says people are sleeping on Mike and McFadden. Dude's getting better every year. That's what I was just saying. He gets better every year. Now, he still has some flaws and things he needs to work on, but you can literally see him get better every year. Like his rookie season, he was trash. Let's be honest. He was trash. He was getting lost in this, especially in pass coverage. He was getting lost out there. Second year, Wink told you he was the best, most improved player, and he went out there and proved that. And then last year, he was doing his thing. He had a couple issues, couple missed tackles. The one play that made me the most upset at Micah McFadden last year was week 2 when he missed that sack on Jayden Daniels. He had Jayden Daniels dead to rights and couldn't finish the play. But now he has gotten better every year. That's something that I did notice, and I did give him his props for that. We ain't going to do that, Melo trades. We're not going to do that. It is another New York team, so I understand why you said that. Let's go Mets. Not for me, though. Off Broadway says, I can't imagine being a position coaching in the NFL. He says, maybe you move a fam if the coach has had some type of success before. Not so much for a rookie head coach. Nah, it's different, man. That was an old joke. Sam Cassell reminds me of E.T. You know what's crazy? My mother used to say back in the day when I was a kid, when she saw Sam Cassell, she always called him, sorry, Mom. She used to call him ugly, said he looked like an ant. That's what she used to say. Back when the Knicks was playing Houston, 94, 95. Actually, I would think it was 95 because that first 94, Sam Cassell was there too. Kenny Smith was starting and Sam Cassell came off the bench for the Rockets. Yeah, she said he looked like an ant. So, Sam Cassell got more girls than me. Nah, that's hilarious. My man Phil says, AZ, sun is just now going down. Brian Sutton says, New York sports has been terrible the last 20 years. Well, you figured we won the Super Bowl within the last 20 years. I mean, we won 2 Super Bowls in the last 20 years, actually. But as far as the Knicks go, Yankees go, yeah, I understand. And then we've been down, too. We've been bad for about a decade. So, yeah, over a decade. What Coach Ed say? He said Coach Ed smoking heavy. Did Coach Ed say something that was crazy, or you just talking about Coach Ed's lifestyle? My man Brian Sutton said Tibbs not getting fired. What we doing, man? What are we doing? We saw Tom Thibodeau with the Homer Simpson cut swoop over his hair every time the camera was on him. And he made ugly faces. I don't know what I'm doing faces. Flip the hair over. That's all Tom Thibodeau did this playoff run. He fell into that lineup switch that he did when he went big with Robinson and Cat to start the game off. He fell into that. That wasn't the plan. Because if that was the plan, he would have did that way sooner. Way sooner. He don't know how to adjust, man. That's my problem with him. Daniel Smith says, why not Mike Malone? I mean, right now, anything's better than Ted, in my opinion. Luann, I didn't even watch the game. Luann said Yanks lost because we had a fill-in pitcher. I didn't even watch the game. So I don't know what happened. Coach Ed says, I agree, Dash. It will be the Knicks move, which is why I said it. Okay, talking about Rick Brunson, being the Knicks head coach. Nah, it's hilarious. My man Corinne says they was 5-4 when Eli took over for Kurt Warner, finished the season 6-10. Yeah, I remember that. I remember how we ended it. I just couldn't remember exactly what the record was. I know we were above 500 though. But so 5-4 was confirmed. Why not extend McFadden? I think that's going to happen early. He might be maybe towards the trade deadline. Like if you needed more cap space this year, then maybe you extend him now and try to lower his cap number. But I don't think I don't think you rush it now. You don't have to rush it. I don't think McFadden's going anywhere. He's not going to break the bank. Let him play out the season, and then you sign him. I think he wants to be here. Hirsch said no cat room. Lil Flame said McFadden was getting mad. Yeah, he was. It was bad. That rookie year was bad. Got some defense in there, say he was a rookie. Lamont Houston says they're not gonna fire Tibbs. Side. Nah, man, they got to make the move, man. That's a fact. Tony said, "What hair? You know what it is, man. He need to go ahead and just shave it off, man. That's what I had to do, man. I mean, I tried to hold on to my hairline forever. My hairline just drifted away. I said, I can't hold on to this hairline no more. I gotta cut it off. Shave my head bald, man. But that's one thing, man. One thing. If for anybody out here, anybody that's listening and watching, that's bald now, got the shaved head. You remember what it was like when you first started going bald. You try to hold on for dear life. You tried to hold on for dear life. You couldn't do it. You tried to hold on. Hair was like, I got different plans, man. I got to go. You got to let me go. If you love something, you got to let it go. Hairline just was like, boom, I'm going. Giants, no, we don't, Luann. No, we don't. We need to figure out who we have in the building right now. We paid. Just think about it. A lot of teams, when you think about these teams, all these, just go around the league. A lot of teams have duos. Some teams are lucky enough to have 3 contributing, solid wide receivers. Think about the New York Giants right now. So you got Malik Neighbors, bona fide number 1. Nobody's going to argue. One of the top, could be a top 5 wide receiver in the league this year coming up. Some people already got him in the top 5 this year coming up. After that, Slayton is getting paid like a number 2 wide receiver. Wan'Dale Robinson, the way Dable feels about him, Wan'Dale Robinson, and then you got Jaylen Hyatt. The main thing is this, and I understand why you're saying that Giants need another wide receiver. The Giants, you can't keep throwing weapons at a bad quarterback. That's what happened with Daniel Jones. We kept saying Daniel Jones needed this. Daniel Jones needed that. We gave Daniel Jones Malik Neighbors, and what did it do? Nothing. It got him canned is what it did. It got him kicked off the team. We got better quarterback play, or we hope that we have better quarterback play, and I believe that's what's going to make the wide receivers better. Because when we say we need another wide receiver, all we're really saying is we don't really trust Darius Slayton. That's how I'm going to take it. Pause. If Darius Slayton becomes a 1,000-yard wide receiver with Russ or with Winston or with Jackson Dart, then you're no longer saying we need another wide receiver. But I think that's what the big because I think Slayton cracks 1,000 yards this year. I think that's going to happen. If you have 2,000-yard wide receivers, then a lot of this we need another wide receivers talk goes away. But I understand why you said that. Because you just want to keep throwing weapons out there. Because, but there's only one ball getting passed around. And when you look at the tight end room, you look at the wide receivers, you look at the running back room, listen, it ain't going to be that much spreading the ball around. Malik Neighbors is definitely going to get what? At least 150, 160 targets, at least. You add another wide receiver to the mix. When are they getting the ball? We'll see what happens, though. I've been wrong plenty of times. Lil Flame says, looks like Darius Slayton might end up being a career Giant, and I'm not mad at it. Now, I agree. I mean, you figure, was it year 6 for him? Right? Year 6? Why not? He got a 3-year deal. I think he can crack 1,000 yards. I think he can do it. My man Xavier Anderson, what's going on? Xavier says it's not so much head coach, it's more the players. JB and it's a JB and Cat don't fit. They're both bad defensive players. I can see us trading Cat this offseason if we can get KD or Giannis. I had to stop myself just now from saying something because I'm not the biggest Kevin Durant fan. Like, I'm not the biggest Kevin Durant fan, but because to me, Kevin Durant does not make your team better. Like if you're depending on Kevin Durant to like wield your team into the playoffs or lead your team into a championship, he's not that, in my opinion. Kind of the same way that Carmelo Anthony was by himself. Both great players, both great starters. I mean, shooters, scorers. But do they make the team better? Now, I will say, when you already have a Jalen Brunson and you add a Kevin Durant to Jalen Brunson. Now, this is not like a Devin Booker, Kevin Durant type of situation, because we already saw that Jalen Brunson can put a team on his shoulders and lead a team into the playoffs. Kevin Durant as the sidekick to Jalen Brunson, I like that. I do like that. Giannis, obviously, if you get Giannis, Cat is gone. You don't need Cat if you got a Giannis. What are you giving up for that? Because what did he give up for Cat? 5 first rounders? Something stupid like that? So imagine what Giannis is going to cost you. And if you're trying to get Giannis, you're probably going to put Cat in that package, and you're probably going to have to get rid of somebody else. You're probably going to have to get rid of Cat and Bridges. And the funny thing is, who even wants Bridges right now after what he showed in the playoffs? You can't run hot and cold and have that kind of value. So for me, I think that I like the Kevin Durant if you're adding them to the Knicks to what's already here right now. But if you're doing the Giannis thing, then I don't know. You're breaking that team apart. I don't know. I do agree that they need better shoot. They need more aggressive players. Like Josh Hart running around acting like the ball is a hot potato. He don't want to go to, didn't want to be aggressive, didn't want to shoot the ball. Mikal Bridges, another guy, he'll drive into the paint, then get stuck. Take the shot. If you're going to drive all the way into the paint, finish. You got the fadeaway jumper. Remember when he had the fadeaway jumper going, it was looking almost unstoppable. And then it's like it's all, you know what it is with Bridges? You know how people play better after they get hit, or what was that guy, the football player named, was it John Henderson? They used to slap him before the game started. They get him hyped up to play. Mikal Bridges is like some guy, like somebody slap him to get him started. Somebody piss him off before the game starts, because the only time he plays well to me is when he's pissed off. And then he doesn't care. He's taking the shots and he's playing aggressive. Listen, the season's over. I'm gonna leave it alone. Mikal Bridges gotta be more aggressive. Josh Hart gotta be more aggressive. Luann says Odell is available. Did you see the interview that he just did? Pretty much saying what everybody already knew. He never wanted to leave the Giants. We knew that. He never wanted to leave the Giants. He wanted to win with the Giants. And he said if the Giants were to make it to the Super Bowl or get to the championship, he would feel a certain way about it. He would still root for the Giants, but he would feel a certain way because he wanted to be a part of the team that, won the next Super Bowl for the Giants. And it made me think about it like, man, it's crazy because when Odell got here and Odell in his prime, he was looking like a sure shot Hall of Famer. Like a sure shot Hall of Famer. And he's not going to the Hall of Fame now. And that's crazy to me how talented he was. What you booing at, Jay First? What you booing at? Something I said? Lil Flame says Theo Johnson and Thomas Fidone is a scary duo that no one is talking about. They are the future. You know what's crazy about that, man? First off, I'll say this, Flame. I hope so. But I felt like Theo Johnson and Daniel Bellinger could have been that duo. I really did. Like, a lot of people are still sleeping on Daniel Bellinger. He ended up in the doghouse. But the only thing he ever does is when you throw him the ball, he catches it, and it's most likely a first down. Coaching got a lot to do with this, with what's going on with the Giants too, man. Hopefully better, like quarterback play had something to do with it, but also the coaching had something to do with it too. Off Broadway says McFadden needs to be resigned. We can't keep allowing our homegrown players to go south to Philly. I think McFadden stays on team. Listen, with Bobby Okereke getting older, Bobby Okereke has 2 years left on his contract. Micah McFadden is going to be a Giant. The coaches love him. He's the type of player that a lot of people love. Everybody says the same thing about Micah McFadden. He got to finish. He got to finish his tackling. If he cleans that up, I don't think anybody has anything to say bad about Micah McFadden. And he's getting better. But I think Michael McFadden just seems like he's going to be a Giant for a long time. He just looks like a Giant, in my opinion, now. Jay Ferris says, too bullish. I got to go. Where do you find these guys at? They find me. The New York Giants fan and part of the family, Jay. You know how they say you can't pick your family? You can't pick your family. You can't pick your fan base. You pick the team that you like, but you can't pick all the fans that come with it. It's like a family. We take the good, we take the bad. You know what I mean? And it's all about opinions too, man. Some people, we all got difference of opinions, but we all family. Can't pick your family. Lil Flame says, speaking of Daniel Jones, he's going to beat out 47 completion rate of AR by the... Yeah, listen. You know what's funny about Anthony Richardson? He wasn't ready to come out when he did. He needed another year, but in his defense, that Florida system was trash. They wasn't really developing quarterbacks like that at Florida. So he came out, but he needed another year. He had 1 year starting experience. He got drafted, fifth overall. He wasn't ready. And we see what's happening because he was highly talented. Cannon of an arm, could run like a running back, strong, can do all the intangibles. He just needed to be a better quarterback. They threw him to the wolves right away, and he didn't survive. And now he's most likely going to get beat out by Daniel Jones. And it's crazy to me. We'll see. It's going to be a lot of storylines this year, man. And speaking of storylines, this Hard Knocks with the NFC East, like the more time is going by, the more excited I am about that. Like, let's just say that the NFC East, all four teams are competitive. If we're all competitive and the New York Giants are still fighting for something in December or, late November, December, when Hard Knocks starts, it's going to be some interesting television, especially for somebody like me. My man off Broadway says, why year in and year out, the Giants seem to run up the cap and have issues balancing the books? I don't know. But you're absolutely right. We get ourselves, next year? Well, next year, before we had all these signings, we had over like $100 million in cap space. I don't know. I haven't looked at the 2026 books yet, but I know it's not what we thought it was going to be. I think we still got enough cap space left because we'll have Daniel Jones dead money off the books and stuff like that. But yeah, it seems like every year we got to be big spenders. I will say this though, when you look at this roster the way it is right now, you figure if you want to re-sign a Luminor, you got Cordell Flott, you got Micah McFadden, you got a lot of people in that rookie class that are coming up on contract years. Some guys might get second contracts, some might not, but I don't think anybody's really breaking the bank. We got Tibbs on the 5th-year option, so he's getting paid this year. Last year of his 4-year contract, and then we got the 5th-year option that we picked up. So that money's already on the books too. So unless like Andrew Thomas is hurt again and doesn't finish, and we got to figure out what we're going to do with him, and we got to find a replacement at left tackle or something like that. We should hopefully, and I'm doing it again, like you said, year in, year out. We end up with good, we have good cap space, and then they end up being depleted. But I don't think next free agency period we're gonna be as hungry as we were this free agency period. And it's all about drafting better too. The more you draft, well, the better you draft. I can't even talk right now. The better you draft, the more money you save because everybody's on those cheap first contracts. My man Ryan making a great point. He says Slayton is so underrated. That's a fact. When it comes to Darius Slayton, when it really comes to Darius Slayton, I have to think about what he did with the targets, what he did with the amount of receptions that he had, throughout his career here. He was always getting you 700 yards for the most part. And he was normally getting that with 50 to 60 catches. You know what I mean? Last year, I think he only had 40 catches, 49 catches, something like that. And he got you like 5 and some change. So you tell me if he can get 80 catches, he's 1,000-yard wide receiver. And that's not even like crazy to think about. Not crazy. Man, Lamont agrees. He says, I don't trust Slayton at all, and I hope you're right about him cracking 1,000 yards. I'm telling you. Let me ask you a question, Lamont. What is it? Is it the drops? Is it the drops, Darius Slayton's history of drops that make you feel the way that you feel? So that's what a lot of people say that don't like Slayton, is the drops. Sean Jackson says, what up, Big Dash? Now I'll turn my attention back to our Giants after a moment of silence for the next season. Listen, I didn't like the way that they went out, but they did have a good season. Making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, first time in over 20 years, that's big. That's big for the Knicks. You got to make it to the chip next year. You know what I mean? You got to keep getting better. You got to add the pieces. Now, it's a time of reflection when it comes to the Knicks, because to me, it is very simple what the Knicks need. Like, you should know exactly what the Knicks need, and the first thing that they need is a better coach. But outside of that, they need guys that are aggressive. They need guys that play with confidence. And they need a real number two. A guy that can be a number two day in and day out. Or a guy that when Brunson is in a slump, you can depend on him. That's what they need. And you can't have a bunch of guys that are, that run hot and cold together, because when they're all cold, it's not good. I respect Cat too. Jay Ferris says, I respect Cat. I respect Cat too. When he's playing, he's playing. But it just takes him a while to get started sometimes. Man, we saw it tonight. What did he have? He had 2 points in the first half, 4 points in the first half. You can't do that. I think he finished with 20 something. He still finished with a double-double, but you needed those points in the first half. We needed him contributing in the first half, and he wasn't there. You can't do that with these Pacers, man. And it's not like, and it's not even like the Pacers are that good, because they're not. They're about to get dog walked by the Thunder. Coach Ed says, I remember when some in the fan base wanted Amani Toomer gone. That's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, that's New York for you, though. You know how it is with New York. We run hot and cold, man. It's funny. That's funny. Because I just talked about the Knicks running hot and cold. A reflection of the fan base. Nah, but yeah, I remember that. I remember when they wanted Toomer gone. I was kind of one of those people that wanted Toomer gone. Between me and you, Coach Ed. We'll keep it a secret between me and you. I was like, what we doing? And then I remember playoff game. He broke that tackle, took it down the sideline for a touchdown. Back in 2007. Like, oh yeah, I remember that. Where am I at right now, man? I'm way behind on the comments. I'm going to skip a few comments. I do apologize. I want to get caught up to what we're talking about. Oh, that's funny. Lamont Houston says that my hair started thinning when Onyx became popular. Perfect timing. Remember dude from Onyx said Michael Jordan shaved his head bald because of Onyx. What was that? Fredro Starr said that BS. That's hilarious. Jay Ferris, don't talk about Bellinger like that. I'm trying to get caught up. I'm getting caught up, and then I'm going to work my way backwards. So let me get all the way caught up, and I'm going to work my way backwards, because I get into these comments, and it is what it is. I will shout out, though, Jay Ferris for the comment. He says, great show, Dash. I appreciate you, Jay Ferris. Wouldn't be no show without you guys, man. I'll say that for sure. It's all about the interaction. Shout out to my man, Wells. He says, Dash. He says, Dash, bottom right. He says, that's BM. Oh, yeah. You know what's crazy? I took that, because it's this boom. What do you call these things? Boom arms. It's one of those, and I had like the wires and all that tucked. So my wife wasn't using her seatbelt covers, so I took it off my wife's vehicle. That's funny. Usually it's off camera, so you can't see it, but it's been on there for a year. That's hilarious, though, Wells. My man TP says Slayton is my guy, aka Mr. Giant. If we had a roster full of Darius Slaytons, we'd be official like a referee's whistle. Now he is a Giant through and through. He defended everybody. One thing you could say about Darius Slayton is that he is a New York Giant. He is. He reps the team hard, for sure. I didn't even see this. Flame. He says, Low Flame says, Malik said he didn't like New York pizza. That clip made me sick to my stomach. My boy Hakeem Knicks would have never said something so ludicrous. So I know, well, we know he's from Louisiana. Is it he might not like pizza at all? Or is it just New York style pizza? I need some more clarity on that. We need to confirm that, Flame. My man Sean Jackson says, we know the Giants' identity should be on defense, but what do you think the Giants' offensive identity will be this upcoming season? That's $1 million question right there. Because like you would think that, okay, we got a better quarterback, we should be able to push the ball downfield. Brian Dable wants to push the ball downfield, but then when you look at the running back room, like, okay, you don't want to abandon the run. So which I think we should have a balanced offense. I think the identity for the New York Giants offense is balance, hard nose, let the running game be a complement for the passing game. I'll say that, but I think we should be able to be balanced. We got enough running backs. In my opinion, we got enough wide receivers. We should have a balanced offense. Oh man, Lamont, you really don't like Slayton. He says the weak wide receiver draft and free agents are the only reason why he's still on the team. I'm assuming you talking about Slayton. You really don't like Slayton. Listen, Lamont, make sure that you tapped in for the entire season, right? Because we're gonna talk about this, man. I'm gonna remember. And when Darius Slayton gets you that 1,000 yards, I want to see how you feel about Darius Slayton at the end of the season. I really do. Okay, so this reaction it's the inconsistency at this point that we've ready to move on from him. A couple of years ago, he seems to be a product of a bad team. Now, so I love the explanation, right? And I can't say that you're lying, right? Because he was inconsistent. The drops were a problem. Now, as far as being a product of a bad team, he was the bright spot on the bad team. Just think about it. In no way should Darius Slayton be a wide receiver one on anybody's team. He was the wide receiver one by default for the New York Giants. He was creating something out of nothing. Like just think about all the time that Daniel Jones was here, and you look at the majority of the highlights from Daniel Jones. Where were those passes going? To Darius Slayton. All the 6 years that Daniel Jones was here. When you look at the highlights, you can. I mean, if you feel like doing it, might make you sick. Go look at the highlights for Daniel Jones. Probably like 75% of those passes are going to be to Darius Slayton. Anything deep, any deep touchdowns is most likely going to be Darius Slayton. So, man, it is what it is. My man TD Midas says 100% need another ball handler for the... Yeah, they do. And they need to stop just watching Jalen Brunson. It's like when they pass the ball to Jalen Brunson, everybody stands around. And it's funny, too, because you see better movement when Jalen Brunson is off, is on the side, is on the bench. The Giants, the Knicks move the ball. Like, because I think when Brunson is on the court, it's like Brunson is here to save us. He's a savior. Give him the ball and let's watch Brunson work. But when he's off the court, the ball, you see 2 or 3 extra passes. You see more ball movement. They need to be able to do that with Brunson on the court. That's why I said if they're going to play this offense next year, we'll see what happens if they don't make any changes and the roster stays pretty much the same. You got to run the offense through Cat first. You put him on the block. You feed him inside. If you can't do anything with it, you do the kick out and you do the ball rotation and you find the open shot. You can't go down the court and pull a 37-footer with nobody down there to rebound but Mitchell Robinson. Man, it just is what it is. I'm gonna leave it alone. I keep saying I'm gonna leave it alone, and I don't. I'm gonna blame that on y'all though. I appreciate that, Ryan. I appreciate that. But listen, I don't consider myself. Nah, I'm not a goat. He says I gotta say, Dash, you are a goat of the Giants content. Listen, yeah, I'll say it. So for me, again, I started this channel in 2022. Went through the bumps and bruises of building up the subscribers and all that other stuff, keeping it real, keeping it authentic to myself. I just started going really consistent with the lives this year, and then once I started doing the lives, subscribers and the channel grew, even larger than I imagined. The goal is 10,000 subs. Right now, I'm almost right there at 8,000, so we're getting close. But it's all because of you. Like the comment section, the love that people show in on the videos, in that comment section, that's what it's all about. Even when I do these lives, like before I had my channel and I was watching other Giants content creators, I rarely went on the lives because it wasn't a lot of interaction, with the comment section, what I mean, or the chat, as everybody says now, chats. It was a lot of people, throwing out their opinions, talking about what they think and stuff like that. But the interactions wasn't always there. They was always there with the super chats and stuff like that. So for me, once I finally decided to go live, I wanted to make it more about everybody talking about the New York Giants. So for me, when you guys jump into these lives and you put your comments in there, I try to get to all of them. I swear I try to get to all of them. Sometimes you guys got them going. And you see me, I get I was almost 10 minutes behind in the comment section today because everybody is important. Everybody's a New York Giants fan and everybody's opinion is valid. So I like to get to everybody, man. And I think that we have these conversations. Well, at least to me, it feels like a conversation and not just a live stream. And hopefully you guys feel the same way. But I appreciate you, Ryan, for bringing that up though. But I'm humbled by it. Jay Ferris is hilarious, man. You said that a couple weeks ago. Yeah, he says I look like Darius Alexander. I don't see it. I really don't see it. But you say all black people look alike, so I'm messing with you, man. Nah, I appreciate you though. My man Ryan says, gotta head out, Big Dash. You are the go to Giants content creators. Just found your channel about a month ago and I was creating mine. And now I'll watch all of your uploads. Now, again, I appreciate that, man. You have a good night. Enjoy your night and enjoy the rest of your weekend, man. See you later. And again, if you're not subscribed to my man Ryan Big Blue podcast, make sure you go ahead and do that. My man is up and coming. Just cracked 100 subscribers. Go ahead and show that man some love and support. My man, the Bean Report says, I hate when my New York teams lose at the same time, but damn Yankees 2 Dodgers, damn the Yankees 2 Dodgers 18. What the hell is that? Nah, that's a fact. I didn't even know about that till somebody put that in the chat. I wasn't even following the Yankee game today. I watched the game last night. I didn't watch it today because I was so concerned with the Knicks. And it is what it is. It is what it is. What's going on, Nimma? My man Nimma in the building says my heart is broken for the Knicks loss. He says I don't know who to blame, if the coaching staff or somebody else. Listen, it could be a lot of things, man. It could be a lot of things. My man Ryan says that's why you're the man. As I'm just starting up my Giants content, you're the one main guys I try to look up to. Now I appreciate that. And we have our conversations behind the scenes, man. Keep up the good work. You're putting out good work. Stay consistent. That's the main thing I tell anybody that has a question for me about, starting a YouTube. Stay consistent. Stay consistent, and that's what you're doing. So keep up the good work. My man Sean says, we know the Giants' identity should be on defense. What do you think? Oh, I already read that one. My bad. I'm tripping. That's what happened when I go, when I skip to the beginning. Nah, that's funny. He says Fisk Vegas is your evil alter ego. Now I haven't got a chance to work with Fisk. Yeah, I know we follow each other on Twitter, and I believe we follow each other on Instagram as well. But I haven't got a chance to chop it up with Fisk. Fisk is hilarious though. He's hilarious. I remember before he actually jumped on screen, he did all the stuff, without being on camera. And even when he did the it was him and Cop Pizzle that did the they did that podcast together, The Outsiders. I always enjoy Fisk, always enjoy Cop Pizzle. Don't agree with both of them all the time, but they always are very entertaining in their own way. I remember when Fisk was saying that Daniel Jones was better than I gotta check it again, see if people can hear me. Let me know if the audio is good now. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Let me know if the audio is good. Okay, perfect. My bad, people. Technical difficulties. You should have seen me trying to scramble. So the visual is down right now. I don't know what happened, but we're gonna figure this thing out. But I just want to get back to what he was saying. I was talking about Fisk. I was talking about Fisk Vegas and Cop Pizzle. Again, both of those guys are very entertaining. I remember when before I started my channel, just trying to not really reach out, but just looking for people that can possibly be, guys that I can look up to, watch. And for me, it's like, man, I like what these guys are doing. I've been watching Cop Pistol for years. Fisk was pretty new on Fisk. Also, shout out to the Big Blue Crew too. Those guys, a lot of people before I started my channel, it was a lot of people that I was rocking with. I still rock with, to this day, that really helped me out, let me get comfortable when it comes to streaming and being on YouTube and stuff like that. So I try to just, at the end of the day, for anybody that's just trying to get started, anybody that's already out there doing that thing, to show that love and support, because I would have loved to have that love and support too. For real. My man my man Nimmer says TP Waiter John, I feel the same. Tibbs can go. I wouldn't mind bringing Michael Malone. You're the second person that said Michael Malone. Second person that said that. Give me just a moment. I think the audio is about to come back. The visual is going to come back. Let's see if we get this back up. You guys can hear me now? I think we good. We back. Shout out. You know what's crazy? Shout out to the 55 people that still held on while I went through these technical difficulties, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all the real MVP. I think that's what they're telling me. They're telling me to end this live stream. We've been going for almost 2 hours. Let's see what happened. What I missed? Stuff went out. And shout out to my man Nimmer for keeping the conversation going. My man Flame says we bringing back the NASCAR package. Tibb, Burns, Carter, Dex. This is crazy. Listen, a lot of people keep saying the NASCAR package, and I understand. We want to try to go full circle. We want to try to tie in this season to success we had before. And for me, I'm like, it's not really the NASCAR package. Like, not really. When you really think about it, it's not the NASCAR package, but it could be something similar. It could be something similar. When I think about Tibbs, Burns, and Carter, that's the main matchup right there. Getting those three guys on the field is what Shane Bowen has to do. And for a lot of people, it's off-ball linebacker. And we saw it in the OTAs. They had Carter working off ball and working the edge. A lot of people were kind of mad at the idea of that happening when we were going to draft Abdul Carter, because they said you don't want to draft an off-ball linebacker at 3, but he's a defensive weapon. So I can't wait to see what Shane Bowen cooks up, and he better cook. I've had that conversation before. Shout out to my man TP Way, letting me know it's okay. He said technical difficulties, can't control it, happens to all of us. You should have seen it, right? So my studio shares a wall with the living room, right? And when the internet went out, I know my son was gaming. He was on the PS5 because he was like, "Oh man," I heard him through the wall, and it was like, "Yeah, something's going on in the whole house." You can hear, you know how these kids are nowadays. If they don't got their game and they can't do nothing, let's play Monopoly when something happened like that. My man Flame also says can't wait for Chauncey Golston. That's going to be a big pickup. Chauncey Golston is a sleeper, in my opinion. Again, you brought him here for a reason. He's good against the run. Can also give you some pass rushability. And the funny thing about Chauncey Golston is they have him listed as an outside linebacker. I think he plays with his hand in the dirt, for real. I think he plays with his hand in the dirt. And him, if I'm thinking about the starters in that front is Dex at nose tackle, Darius Alexander and Chauncey Golston. And then you got your rotation of Ledbetter, Robinson Harris. And I'm still trying to figure out who that sixth guy is going to be in that rotation. Hit the nail on the head. He said it's not really the NASCAR package, but Giants can't be the Giants without an extraordinary defensive line. That's what we're known for. Once we solidify that defensive line, then we can talk about the Giants being the Giants again. That's a fact. My man Kevin Brito says, stop the run. Can't use NASCAR if you're not in a third and long. That's also very true. That's also very true. And it all starts with the run defense. The most important part of the defense. Like again, football 101. What is it? The first thing they tell you, being able to run the ball and stop the run. That's football 101. My man TP says facts. Chauncey Golston, his defense on the defense is one of the biggest sleepers. It is, and I know you feel the same way about it because you talk about it too, man. Like for the people that watch the New York Giants like closely and you analyze, in some cases we overanalyze. We know what it is. The people that screamed at their television last year when it was 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2 almost all the time. We know what's up, man. Stopping the run is where it needs to be. Yeah, they back the game in now. Everything's good. I got to go back and listen to this too. Once it went out, I had to switch to my phone, and the audio sounded crazy for a second. I was hearing echoes and all that stuff, man. I'm glad we back on though. But just in time to shut this thing down. We're going almost 2 hours again. We were already an hour later than what we normally do because of the Knicks. So I think we're gonna do a good one. Hey, TP, if you still there, you doing your show in the morning? You doing a live tomorrow? Let me know. And then I missed it. If you did your NFC East thing today, I missed it. Like I said, I was focused on the Knicks today. But when you doing your next NFC East thing, I'm curious. We got this. My man on Broadway said chilling, got the ear on the pod and the eye on the TV. That's a fact. I just saw this too, TP Way. Shout out to you. He says, in the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe. That's a fact, man. Shout out to y'all, man. And it's crazy too. Shout out to the chat for keeping it going while I was trying to figure things out. NFC East is next week, and okay, cool. He said Giants on Hard Knocks again, right? Yeah, that's a fact. It's funny too. Yeah, you know what's crazy? I kind of like it this time around because it's not just the Giants, it's going to be the whole NFC East. Now, the bad part is this. If we get into that Hard Knocks and the Giants are like the only team in the NFC East that's absolutely like out of it, like not contending at all or not competitive, it's going to be bad. It's going to be very bad. Because then it might be like the death of Rockefeller type deal. It was the death of a dynasty. The last 4 weeks of the season, Giants are already out of contention type deal, and we get to see the behind the scenes. Listen, everybody that's in here, let's hope for the best, pray for the best for the New York Giants this year. I'm hoping for success, and that's all I can do. Flame says one thing about the damn Cowboys is they always draft good off. Yeah, they do. But just like the Giants always draft good defensive linemen, Cowboys know where the bread is buttered at, and that's the offensive line. That's something that they have not changed since their existence. Well, since Jerry Jones got there, for sure. And for me, the New York Giants are like the opposite. When it comes to our offensive line, it's like a crapshoot, especially guys that we draft. But I'm just hoping, man. If we can stay healthy, I think we'll be in a good spot. If the offensive line can stay healthy, especially Andrew Thomas. If these guys can play together, long those guys play together, I think we'll be good. TP Way says, quick question before you call it a night. New home and away jerseys? Nah. I'm going to keep it very, very simple because I see a lot of people putting out a lot of concept art for jerseys. Some of them are fire. Some of them are duds. Is one easy fix. There's one easy fix that the New York Giants can do right now, and it will satisfy a majority of the fan base. And you already know what I'm going to say, TP Way. The one thing, if they don't want to go out there and make new jerseys, design new jerseys, the one thing that they can do is put the Giants back on the helmet. Put it back on the helmet. Put the Giants back on the helmet. That's what they can do. The easiest fix. You already got the stickers. Whenever we do the color rush jerseys, we got the Giant sticker on the helmet. Go ahead and change the helmet. I would love an all blue alternate. I would love a red jersey. I saw one with a gray jersey. I even saw a black jersey. I would love all of that. But we already know how stubborn the Maras are. So for me, the easiest thing you can do is put the Giants on, take the NY off and put the Giants on the helmet, and it'll make a lot of people happy. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think, and then we're gonna call it a night. Should we put, like I said, I like it. I think the color rush jerseys, the all white ones with the blue helmets, that should be the away jersey anyway. I think the color rush jersey should be the away jersey. I think the throwback legend, what do we call them? What do we call our throwbacks now? What the legacy jerseys? I think the legacy jersey should be the home jersey. And if you don't want to do that, just instead of the navy blue, go with the royal blue. Keep the blue the same and just put the Giants on the helmet. Make it easy. And you know what else we need, TP Way? We need a chant in the stadium. And like you said, fee fi fo fum. That's what we need. We need the fee fi fo fum in the crowd for the home games. And if we can do that, I think I think it'll be cool. Also, you figure we already added a treasure chest for the defense whenever we get an interception or a turnover. We got the new treasure chest now. They got the Captain Hook treasure chest. I'm with it. I'm with it. If other teams can have the turnover chains, we can have a turnover treasure chest or whatever you want to call it. I'm here for that. Whatever's going to bring extra energy to this team, I'm here for that. If the jerseys do it, if a treasure chest does it, whatever. I'm with all that. My man Flame says, heard Dane Belton making some noises. Listen, man, it is what. One thing about Dane Belton is this. He seems to be in the right place at the right time a lot of times. A lot of his interceptions, right place, right time, and he's there often. Shout out to Dane Belton. He's another guy that's in the contract year. Don't know if he's going to be extended like McFadden, but we'll see what happens. Right now, when it comes to that safety room, just the safeties, after Newman is it's pretty much open. You got Belton that's going to be the third safe, or the first guy off the bench if any of the safeties go down, if they need a breather. But after that, it's wide open. Just like I feel like with the cornerback position, after Cordell Flott, it's wide open for these guys. So Dane Belton has a chance to make some noise for sure. He got an interception in practice this week. Fantastic. We'll see what happens, man. There's a reason why they keep on drafting safeties and signing safeties. They don't quite believe that Dane Belton is that guy yet. But right now, he's good. He's a good depth piece. But we're going to go ahead and shut this thing down, man. Again, it's almost midnight on the East Coast. Hopefully everybody enjoyed. Shout out to the 61 people that's still in the building. Again, make sure you hit that like button on the way out. But we're going to wrap this thing up, man. We got OTAs, 3 more OTAs coming up this week. The media will be in the building this week, so we should get some more clips. And the star power of Jackson Dart will continue to grow, because right now people are going crazy. Beat writers are going crazy. Every pass is a ooh and a ah. And hopefully, we can keep that consistency going. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Good night, everybody.
We never be